Good afternoon. Good afternoon. 1600 hours, 2 minutes. Monday, March 25th, 2019. Check out my IG, Oness1716, ONESSONE_716, ONESSONE_716, and capitalize the first O. That's my Instagram that I talk about other things when I'm not on here, and I use my spiritual energy when I'm on that. So I wasn't coming on here for a while, but a lot of things, it was more meant for me to write it than to say it. So I started using my accounts as I stated. When I started getting full into going to the library, doing lives, bringing up information, I want to have a tablet. So I'm working on getting that and everything. But I titled this one, How Can Us as Brothers, and meaning African descent, quote unquote, black men in America, make tranquility, which is, I don't use the word peace anymore because the sign, the symbol it comes, and and I don't know, in my hearts, it's not a good symbol. It's not a good insignia to use, and I don't want to put up the two fingers and everything and what it represents. So that's from my understanding. But one thing we in my neighborhood I grew up on, I was the guy with my father at first. Just like the other guy. See, and that's the misconception of young African descendant quote unquote black men. In this video, I'm just gonna not use the quote unquote black, or I'm just gonna say Afro descendant men. That we grew up with not our fathers in the household. That was true and not true. It depends on the household. My household became fatherless after my father was was not standing up to his commitments to my mother. So no beef against me. It's my relationship. My father is different based on my father with me, and want to see people that's adults that procreate, even teens that's procreating, to think about that side. Your your life with that person has nothing to do with your child. Even if you and it sounds stupid from someone, especially like if you were that kind of person have a child. Think about what you did. Your only thing now, if you procreate a child, is for you to raise that child the best way you know how. So in all the best ways you know how, and within knowledge, if you're using some sense, it don't even have to be common to everybody. If you're going to use sense in your household, you know that you need man and woman to raise this child. I don't care how you look at it. I don't care what you choose, your preference choose to be later down the line. What else? What jobs? What careers? Whatever you choices, whatever you do in life, just know that that child need both parents. So on the workings and talking of that, we got to start now. What's that household realize? Okay, we're going to be together, make the decision, or we're not going to be together. Make a decision. The focus now is on the child. And that's the next going forward. Everything I'm talking about is a guide and challenge you. Like I ask you to think about another perspective, another way. I do it myself. But it's okay to have your way and not follow other people's way, because other people's ways may not be the best ways for you. So I even say that as well. But for the brothers, we have to understand that I grew up a certain way. Now, I was the young man that grew up in the area I grew up in is called Langfield in Buffalo, New York. Prominent area known for quote unquote gang violence in the 80s and the 70s. And it's real announced name. So if you come to Buffalo, you mention that area, even still it has a reputation with less and less going on because the guys did get incarcerated, now are jailed a lot. And some of the young men, that was their family. So them guys became fathers, or them guys was the nephews and brothers and the cousins, the uncles, all the men of the family. So they watch. Some young men, they pass down some type of wrong that we should never claim to be great. And for me, I was the young man where they bothered me. I don't call it bullying. I call it come with the territory, which I had no problem. And I think a lot of those guys, I got stronger that way. Even the guys when I didn't want to fight, but we call it we're gonna shoot the fair ones. It had nothing to do with guns. So when people talk about all y'all do is shoot, I was like, that's a ball faced lie. I never been in a fight where somebody pulled the gun or I pulled the gun or a knife. Don't matter what was going on. You could have been messing with me for 80 years. You could have been messing with me from 8 years old to 16. We never put guns on each other. So I don't know where this. The analogy is the funny part is separated from street mentality and actually from your neighbor. Now in this case, I'm going to use neighborhood or community. So that was a community. Langfield is a community. When you come to Langfield, and they had the name of Langfield Boys Posse, or they was Langfield and Kenfield at one point. Because it across the literally you separate the street between areas. It's called Langfield and Kenfield. So the street literally is our on as like a lot of places it's train tracks or you gotta walk across a empty field. The street literally separated the areas. And even the part that looked like Langfield across the street, we called that the island because their choice of being Langfield or Kenfield because the way they designed the place. Because Kenfield was separated every time, and I don't know how honor work everywhere else. From honor, I know when a place gets separated, that becomes a new place. So we allow that place that went like this. So if you see this Langfield on this side, Kenfield on this side, and you go up Kenfield and make a left, there's another area. So they're their own area. And we call that the island. So within that place being the island, they chose. But what happened originally, Canfield people was not related to people on Langfield, but we built a mutual respect because a lot of things to go through the store. Now the store was on Edison, but it was on it was part of Langfield still. It called the Langfield Food Market. Canfield to come to Langfield. And you go to the park, you have to go to Canfield, the Roosevelt Park. Even the island. But the island was almost as they was so they was like crumpers, we was like the clumpers of the crown. Or you play football or basketball, as I heard about in if you ever listen to the Rye story, that's how Langfield and Canfield was. So we made a decision to say, and then eventually family members started moving because those are the projects. So it was low income housing. And eventually it became subsidized. Now it's subsidized, but I think it's a trick to say it's subsidized because they go by like 30% of your income. And that's because even me, that's a high percentage from where I live at. It's subsidized, but it's funny because they go by the percentage of your income. I think that's very funny. And based on your income, they base I think is wrong anyway. It's too high. So, and if you don't get subsidized, you pay the rent amount. So that's high too. So you end up paying the rent anyway that they desire to make their money off of you because everything is included. But anyway, so I grew up as a young man. I wasn't soft. I wasn't weak. I wasn't being punked or bullied because I grew up with the Canfield. I grew up mainly with the Langfield guys because, as I said, the Canfield starting off growing up wasn't cool with us. But then families, and then not even so families, we got older and said, there was no more animosity. So that means whatever subsided in the 60s, 70s, I'm going to say in the beginning, like the end of the 60s, towards the middle 60s, the 70s and the 80s, going into the 90s, it subsided by the time we was 10 years of age. It was no more of that because all the guys was gone and remained mentally jailed or in prison, incarcerated. So we didn't feel that wrath, but we still had the drugs from the 80s still in the. So now that became, as we see now for the women, sex work or selling a vagina through just virtual vagina to see it or in person. So that was for us. But that even subsidized because then as we fought for the rights, I ain't gonna get into that because I get into that. Get into that real quick. We fought for the rights. The men now was able to get those jobs. So now the women got away from that career. Now, since the women feminized feminism globally, which they're trying to activate and access, that sex work become part of their liberation. That's why I hate liberation, because liberation was, if you look at domination again, and all these words are going together. And as I'll give you a bottom line, but my stuff, like I said, come from more revelation. Revelation. I'm about to say reparation. Rev, revelation than reading a book. I had to tell a guy, "You wrong, sir. I'm not using." He called it the MSM, mainstream media. I say I don't use media, and I capitalize media because that's ran by the British colony. I said mainstream media is either true or false. Most of my things is revelation, and a lot of things I get from is from the spirit. So no, it's neither true or false. But what is happening as those people go through that, that is true for them. To be false, the narrative that they place is false. They only going to give just as they use Justin Simla. I'll teach other people that was scripted. So all these other lynchings that's happening, we're going to ignore them. So as they killed the young girl, we're going to ignore the rest of them. As they beat the black man to death, we're going to that's called propaganda. I know, and he's trying to tell me. I know that's propaganda. So you can't school me, brother. I know what I'm talking about. But my only eyes and ears, and I keep people saying, don't believe your eyes. No, trust in your eyes. Trust in your intuition, your gut. But don't let it run wild and rapid. Learn what it is. So if you're saying that I'm lying, go figure out why I'm lying to you. Don't just say I'm lying just because of my skin color or even of my past. And that's where I want to get at with the brothers that what happened of why the protection, why we don't have tranquility with the brothers. I grew up finishing that, going back off to that from my area of projects. I grew up the brother that they was messing with. And this was my beef with all of them. But I never was a sided beef because even a lot of those guys, as we grew, become older, became men. Became men. Went from young men, a baby man, a young man, a teen man, middle. Now we adolescents. Now we adults. Adult man, adolescent man to adult. Now we at middle man. But at adolescent man, we start realizing I don't have no true beef with you. I didn't have an older brother. So now a lot of us, we didn't have older brothers. The guys that we seen were more so our uncles or fathers. So we were or are the older brothers. It seemed as the guy with the older brothers, which we got to start understanding why the fathers are important now. The older brothers, now I did a little research. The older brothers are more so the ones that do all the dirt that we call street thug gang mentality. Because the next footstep is the brother, or if you have a sister. But the young lady is usually not looked at the same because, as we know, the women is fertility. The hood dude would more so try to talk to his sister than the one to kill her. But it got into times when it was really that serious. Your sister getting whooped by another girl, and it's his sister or his girlfriend. See, nobody is talking about the true understanding of the gang mentality. This was gang mentality. This is what was the curse that was passed down from generation to generation. We actually is more pushing away from it. But what they doing, the media kept us hating each other because of what goes on. And as my brother Red Supreme says, and everybody that talks about it, whatever other channels you watching, or other men you listen to or you see out in the street, what kept us that way is now I'm older. I see a lot of them. A lot of them still doing the same things. A lot of them a lot of the young men I grew up with got married, but they still got that mentality. So I just say, okay, but now we moving forward. Now to me, this is my whole beef with these guys in the street and the gang mentality. They won the spoils of the war. The spoils of the war, and we acting like this still don't play a part, is to get the woman. And as the man denounced the woman, and you denounce that man, you that man is not saying worthy, he have a less opportunity to be part of that community. You hear that it's saying? He's less part. So what's left is whoever get the girl is her one man. Should he not be the one when it snows, shoveling the snow, taking out the garbage? He's living with her. So if she is with a dude that's incarcerated, he do have a job, but and this is what people understand. It's not that you can't get a job. The incarcerated dude is not gonna get a chance at working now. What our computer company here is called something 1000. He won't get a Pacific job. Of course he'll get a factory job. Cool, that's a job. But unless he started his own business for computers, he won't get the computer job. And we know a lot of business take money unless he just do it from home and get an L. But he gotta learn that still. That's still a skill. That's a thing that a lot of black African descendant men have to do. We have to keep reinventing ourselves. No other race of men have to reinvent themselves. So that's the privilege. That's the us privilege. Or that's the get out. Which one? You want to go affect us? The social part is the us. That's us, me and you, what they're doing to us. Or you want to get out what the destroyers did to keep us cursed and to make sure we stay slaves to them in our mind. So my beef, now this is my beef, as the dudes that grew up that got the women, they the ones that shot their own brothers. And I seen it. That's why I say everything is through my experience when I talk. It's not that I don't know what I'm talking about. Even on a basic level, you should if you unless your life went a certain way. So when you went to school and got that degree and got that career, or you didn't have to really build off of it, you got that skill, you've been doing that for 10 years, you might not have to reinvent yourself. But what you're doing, you was gaining information I would never learn because I had to reinvent myself. I had to go away from that. Unless I started my own business, but I had the wherewithal to do that. I wouldn't have got that. So you, in a sense, you are a little ahead of me because now you get to train with those people that I didn't get to train with. Now, before he retired, he might pass down some information I'd have never got, even for the same career, even for the same skill. I will learn that later, most such as from you or from my literal trial and error. I will have to go through pain and hurt, blood, sweat, and tears to literally go through that. So my beef with the brothers is we don't get along because of simple fact. There is it's a disunion. You don't trust me, I don't trust you. You grew up trying to hurt me. Then now you telling me to protect the women that love you. That I can't compare an Arabic, a Chinese man. We don't even have a land to go back to. This is our land and we trying to fight back for our land. But they won't give it to us. I explained that in my last video. They're not gonna give it to because they gotta give to the throne. They gotta give up the land, the throne. That's the throne for them. If you don't understand the rock, the land, the abyss, all these things, it's nothing to do with religion. Religion was created from their confusion to telling us what we should believe in. That's what religion is, to bind you back to evil. And the men that was hurting me, those are their sisters, those are their girlfriends. And as I tell people, I am protecting my own race of women. That's my family. Random is an option. It's a big choice. Because my thing is, as these women are unprotected, don't they have black men in their family? Don't they have men that they give their lives and their heart to sexually, intimately, non-sexually, non-intimately? Where are these brothers at? Now, these brothers incarcerated. Now, this is what happened that they see. I hit all the surfaces. I try my best to hit all the surfaces. while you was curving the dude that can protect you. Now that she's put in a situation, now you put the man, the well-doing black man, in a situation to protect her from affairs that you have no account of. My first thing, if a woman, if I keep watching a lot of unprotected stories, right? A lot of these women, a lot of my own women are outside at nighttime. I was taught from a woman, you shouldn't be outside at night. So that sounds stupid. You call me whatever you want, but I'm not the one hurting you, and I'm not the one that's trying to pass off information to you to sound as I'm the man for. No, I don't really care about that no more. I'm 36. I made it through my longest relationships out of 6 tries, and probably gonna have more is 1 year. So I'm not lacking of nothing. I had money in my hand. I've been in different spots. I've been homeless. I put I'll say it as a joke. I averaged 2 women a year from after the age 23. My first sexual encounter was 23. So, but what we have to understand, brothers, and you, I know I call y'all brothers, we don't have beef with doing anything we want. Our beef was you not protecting your part. How am I going to be able to protect? I said 20 before. I'm going to say 10. If I'm protecting my mother, sister, aunt, niece, with all the women, my grandmother, I don't have them no more. Rest their souls. If I'm protecting all those women in my family, how can I protect your women when you endangering her by being incarcerated? Because a woman had even wrote the reason black women are not married because they're not submissive. She said that's BS. But she went into the part of there are black men, and this is how black women think that we are being incarcerated at a high rate. Well, there's enough black men. If you go, I guarantee you, if we took the time out to really love one each other, those women wouldn't be unprotected. They wouldn't be choosing those brothers. See, those brothers can talk about giving us game and all of this other stuff, but they don't know how it feels. They were the brothers beating us up. We the one that were straight lace, like we want to call us, the words which we misuse them, the simps, the lames, the educated lames. It's not even that. And saying that they can run circles around us in knowledge. That's cool. Not being funny. You've been in prison enough to read more books. As I said, skill wise versus actually getting to where you need to go. I had to reinvent myself. So a lot of information I wouldn't have known yet. You're going to know that because you're in a place where you don't have to keep reinventing yourself to get to what you're trying to do. You got to it because you was a hustler. Our hustle was to make it without causing the least amount of trouble. So, and I had mentioned this. So while I'm educated, let's say I'm a lawyer or attorney or I know the law, and you get in trouble for things that's not of you, but you've been just like your third strike or you pass that, and they want to charge you because your name's in the book. Guess who's supposed to come help you? And now peep game is this. Since we're not talking about protecting women, I'm not saying you protect another man, but when those dudes that's not in our community, that was supposed to be our community, come in and they call it set it off on us, you wasn't there to help us. But you was quick to hurt us because we ran up on your block or we did something that was very, very minute. It was really tiny. But as these guys hurting the women, and this is my thing, why the hell you not retaliating on them? It's not called revenge. That white man should have a mud hole stuffed in his ass right now. It should report it live. We'll show somebody getting killed in a car accident and beat up on a Facebook Live. This is what killed me about I'm angry in a sense. This is what killed me about black people. We'll fuck each other over and over. We'll bring up stupid minute shit. But the shit that we should be shooting niggas over, and I mean not so much us as niggas, those are the niggas out there, we're not shooting them. Don't come at me if that woman, even my women, saying she's unprotected, I'm unprotected. You gave some dude some pussy. Why the hell he not fending your ass? Not even that. What about the men in your family? Why they're not defending you? And you saying it don't matter about the woman attitude. That goes a long way. Cause I know if I don't walk around with guns and I don't put myself in a situation to have to be shot. Unless it's the wrong, and we know that happened. But that don't happen a lot. The guys that's getting killed is not the dudes minding their business. And we know that. Back then, when they was fighting in the early 1900s, those men that getting killed, they was protecting the women. They had, but they when they protect, and I guarantee you, and this is what now, this is a simp to me. You protecting the women, and you going home to an empty ass house. And man said, you don't get no reward. If I don't get no reward for going to work, without like he went, I want to use it in that sense. I don't get no reward going to work. You think I'm gonna keep going to work? So I'm using my blood, sweat, and tears on this career path I'm doing. And you give me no type of income, or you don't give me what you say you're gonna give me. You think I'm gonna be so enthusiastic to go do it real quick? I'm gonna be so. How can I get hyped up? Only my anger is gonna be towards like, where's your people at? Where's your people? Why do I gotta come from way over here? And then why is it my beef? Why that when I speak this way, why am I penalized? Why am I persecuted? And this is my beef with those type of dudes as well. They be hurting those women. I don't have nothing against the hood, whatever you want to call them, the dudes in my neighborhood, the community. My beef is, and you the same women that's abusing these women. I watched the dude punch the girl in the face. After he punched her in the face, what can I do but stop him from punching her again? Done it. Been in situations where they switched it on me. They tried to get me. Oh, wow, okay. And not even that I don't help. I watched the girl get punched in her face. I know the dude slashed her tires. He broke up her car. She's still laying in the bed with him. See, this is the part I don't get. And this is where I separate myself from my brothers. Because now this is why I separate myself. I don't beat on women. I don't hurt women. My mother showed me how to be a respectable man without my father. Everything I learned on my own was not coming from my father. The things he tried to tell me is like too late. He gave me some nuggets after in my adult stage. I was like, you wasn't there. You didn't even. And I really honestly trust in my mother. Believe what I really believe. I don't say I know. I believe what my mother said. Excuse me. He never had a reason not to be in my life. Because from me paying attention, my mother never stopped him. Even when he was semi-abusive to me, he never was stopped or given the opportunity to be my father. So I won't even want to tell those men. I think when you procreate a child, that is an excuse when you say the woman don't allow you to be around. There's too many things that you may not want to do that you should do. I'm not going to allow myself to not be there for my child. And I'm happy if I don't, or if I do have a child later in my life, I understand a little more. No woman's going to, and hopefully I meet a woman that's about having a life with me, not to have an independent life. I don't want to be separate. So, but my beef is with the brothers. Don't ask me to do nothing that you're doing, that you're not doing. And if a woman giving you love, how come you can't protect her? She's giving you a place to stay, a place to eat. I don't know why we broadcasting the propaganda of saying we don't protect our women. That's a lie. Those brothers not protecting them. My women and my family is protected. In my 4 generations of my life, the end of the third, I was coming into the third. I'm the third. We the third generation that I know of. We don't have incarcerated men. We just have that mentality of that cycle, the curses that we pass down of non-committing. So what I say unto all, I say unto one, I say unto all, is your path, is your journey. Choose wisely. And as a brother, I stand with you. But I can't stand with you when you hurting your women, or that women giving you a chance, opportunity. And you can call me a punk or whatever, but you sitting right there you allowing yourself to be incarcerated to not raise your child. You allowing yourself to be incarcerated, or you allowing yourself to be put under a microscope when your woman is there alone and you're not home because you want to bag up some new hoe. She a hoe. She don't want a life. A lot of these women and a lot of women too that's this happening to. We can call them whatever ratchets. We can call them loudmouths, whatever. You're not protecting them. That means also if you're not in the home, you're not able to give them some knowledge. I don't need game to tell my sister. As soon as I learned something, I told my sisters. They know how to defend themselves. They know how to protect themselves. I showed them the way as soon as I learned it. And I got proficient to show them enough to remember. I showed my sisters. I asked them, sister, you remember that? They both told me yes. See, women can remember that stuff. I know how to fight, but I didn't remember those things because I learned other things. Now, if I got in a situation, I'm quite sure it'd come back to me. But my other way to defend myself is not the same way because I'm not a woman. And when a man come right at her, she should have been already ready to pull the Glock out and tell him to back the mess up. But she didn't learn that game from no man. She should have a gun herself. I don't need a gun, but I'm gonna tell people if you feel ass, you unprotected, which last year did, it tripled in women getting licensed guns. So I applaud them. But a lot of those women, just as a lot of men that had guns, shouldn't have guns, shouldn't have a weapon, they should have a license for nothing. But I applaud them. They need to protect themselves. But if you're going to disclude and exclude men out of your life, you're not going to be protected. I'm sorry. I don't. It can sound harsh. It sound real. You can bring about the old days. You can talk about the times now. You can talk about I sound weak, but I'm giving you the truth and the reality. I'm not sugarcoating it. And I'm telling you, a lot of black men, we're not willing to do that no more because we have, and it can sound corny, no incentive. And I was dating a lady, and ended off with this. I was dating a lady, and I guess she got mad at me for something because she kept loving to excite me and to come. I'm learning a lot of people love to do that once they know about me, but I don't really entertain it. I just laugh and I just say no. That's my choice. That's my preference. Just as you as yours. But they try to say I don't want to force you into what I believe. Yes, you are. I don't never force people. I tell people the truth about what I know, and that's it. And I say you understand, and if you don't understand, then I'm not going to disagree with you because I'm not even agreeing with what you're saying in the first place. But I say this: the women that that's out there unprotected. She asked me, would I protect a black woman if she seen a man come up? She made it even clear. There's a black woman coming up with a man. So she giving me mad scenarios for it. She allowed me to answer it. And one scenario she gave me, I found to be very iffy. It was the white man attacking her because she killed her son and wife intentionally. That one got to me. Or that she did something. She never gave me a scenario where it was not her fault because she wanted to make sure that she had the correct answer in her head. Because this was her deciding factor with other things. But I'll tell you what I told her after that. I told her, would you protect her? I told her, I have an option, right? She ain't saying nothing. Then she was like, yes. I said, okay. My option is to throw my body in there to protect her after he's about to hurt her. Now, I told her probably, it depends on the situation. I said probably no. She said I'm hateful toward black women. She said I'm hateful because I won't protect her. And I was getting what she was saying. But I said this as well. Now, if I go in there and protect her and I lose a body part, I get injured to almost death. I come out. I said now, and this is what I call protect when a black woman protect a black man. This is what I think about protection. If I go in there and help her, I lose a body part. Who helps me? You know what she said? She said, God. I said, wow. There, my heart changed on her. Whatever she had for me, I think I got some other reasons of why she was so quick to challenge everything. I was the first man, and I noticed to uphold her to the truth of the what she came out of her mouth. When a woman, and that's when one thing I loved about my aura and persona of me, my discernment, you can discern for me. Now it can sound funny because we have to talk about people are liars, men gonna change as God gonna change on you. I think the creator, that the Almighty, the Father, the Mother Nature gave and bestowed upon me is as you had to uphold honesty with me. I'm not true to this. I'm not new to this, but I'm true to this. So I may not been in the dance. I might have been rejected. I might not have been asked to the dance by a woman. I may not. This is like metaphor. And I might have been rejected to go to the dance. I might have went to the dance on my own. But I learned it's no way that I'm gonna protect my women, my race of women, when they don't even protect me. I gave them places to stay, places to live, places to make sure she was safe from the cold, from the heat. Until this day, those women will still put bad on my name. And don't matter what I say to them, it didn't matter. I lied to one and I will apologize to her. I lied and told her I cheated on her because I didn't want to be with her. It was such difficult. If you were a man that been in love and that woman made it hard on you, and your heart, if you know a hurt heart, I don't mean a hurt heart because you did her wrong. I mean a hurt heart for doing all the best things possible in you thinking of everything. You studying her, you trying to make the relationship like. And I learned, don't if a relationship don't flow and you got to do all of this work, don't do it. That's too much work. Just as if I gotta put myself in danger and know the outcome, if I got hurt, I had nobody there to help me. Right now, I had two hands and two arms. Imagine getting one of my hands or one of my arms or half of my arm, half an arm or a whole arm chopped off. Imagine that. Imagine that. And I was for 36 years of my life. Today, I'm walking down the street. In a few hours, I go to the store and a woman's in trouble. My own race of woman in trouble. I help her. And then I get hurt going to hospital. My family there, but I'm a man. I'm a man. Remember, I'm a man, right? I'm a man. I'm staying on my own. Nobody supposed to help me. I'm not getting no help. Even for all I've done. Not even from that. She won't even give me things that it doesn't even have to be. And this is where people get confused. It's not even about the sex. It's about the intimacy. Intimacy that is not always sexual. Like, damn, you gonna show up? Help me out a little bit? Do something? No. Right now, I don't. None of no women call me. Never. And and this is why I hold myself to another standard, and I have a requirement of a woman because I know what I've done for women, and I know and I tell us I can sound complaining, a crybaby, whatever you want to call me. I got shit back from women, literally shit, nothing, zilch. To get to where they want, that was cool. But after it wasn't what they wanted, they wasn't going out of their way. Yeah, she drove down to see me and we went to see the game. But I put money back in there. I did a lot of things that kind of not evened it out, but show like, okay, I give a damn. I care. And that's my thing. That's my experience can change for that one. That's why I said I want one woman that can show me that one time. But if no woman ever showed me that, what I'm doing is truly out of my generosity, out of my heart. And if my heart don't feel that way, I'm not gonna do it. And then to my brothers that's out there, we got a soul beef with one another. And if our beef is with one another, we got to stop the beef. But if you part of the problem, you got to be part of the solution. Araza.